Hi, my name's Caspar Rose. I'm the CEO at Fresh Fitness Food, and today working on the Fresh Skills 101. Screenshot this next slide for the ingredients to this quick, delicious, high protein, high energy dish. Let's get stuck into it. This is an absolute classic dish for me. So I used to row for Sydney Rowing Club for a long time in Australia. I'm Australian, thus the accent, but been here a long time working with Fresh Fitness Food. And this dish was an absolute staple of mine and still is. I'll often find myself making it on a weekend or a Sunday, maybe before a big training session or after a big training session, because for me, this dish is about fuel, about convenience, and it's also extremely cost effective. This is the spiced Four Bean mix with tinned tuna. Now, trust me, it's absolutely delicious. You're going to get acidity, crunch, flavor, starch, all of the things that make a dish great. Ingredients, I've got my beans. I'm just using Waitrose Essential mixed bean salads in water. It's got about 4 different beans in there, which just gives you a little bit of variety and a little bit of change in texture. A red onion, tinned tuna in water. Then some spices. I'm using cumin and cayenne pepper today. You could use a range of different spices for this dish, or you could just get a sort of pre-made Mexican spice mix, which is what I used to get when I was just in a real rush. Then I've got some celery. We all love celery, absolutely delicious, really affordable, adds a lot of texture. And then I've got some green chili for just a little bit of warmth in there. So I'm going to break it down for you, and I'm literally going to show you just how quick this dish can be done. Got my beans strained off. I'm going to go with half a tin of beans for this recipe. I'm looking to make enough for 1 portion for myself if I was to have this for lunch or a little post-training fuel. Next thing, I've got 2 sticks of celery. For 1 recipe, I just need 1. Taking this celery down in half, lengthways, and then again, those ones in half again. Straight down there. If anything's chunky, I add another little cut through it like that. And then I'm just looking for nice small chunk bits. Remember, the celery component is there to add texture, a little more fiber, and get some of those nutrients that we all love that come from greens. So right through there. Again, this dish is really about convenience. It's really about being cost effective and getting in some solid fuel. So again, that chili, now I'm just going to take half off that chili there, save that for later, slicing through there, turn it to the side, running my knife through as I go, nice small dice, none of that spicy pith through there, nice fine. As you can see, that's a brunoise of chili, very similar to how we did the onion in the other skills recipe. And we'll probably do one on chili as well at some stage. At this stage, I'm going to take my onion. Because I'm saving half that onion for later use, I'm going to leave it in the skin. And then take this onion through here, pop off that onion skin, making a little bit of mess, but trying to stay clean for you guys. And then again, exactly as we did in the onion skills recipe, I'm going to go down nice and thin, because I want to get good onion flavor right through. I'm using a red salad onion for this, keeping that onion nice and neat, back through this way as we've been through on the onion skills test. But I want it really nice and thin because I want the onion to mix right through the beans and for there not to be any chunky, surprising bits of onions as I go. I don't need all of that onion, so I'm saving a little bit there. And there's some funky bit in the middle there, so I'm just going to take that out. For any of those long bits, I'm just running the knife through one last time to make sure it's nice. And I'm going to use about half of that straight into that recipe, and a little bit more. So we're talking roughly 1/4 of an onion. I'm going to reserve that onion there for laters. Nice whack of pepper through it. Got my cumin. Talking about half a teaspoon, 1/4 of a teaspoon of cumin, adding some sort of savory, lovely flavors that you can smell immediately. Cayenne pepper, I want to be a little bit careful with. Again, about a half teaspoon or less of the cayenne pepper, depending on how much you like your spice. Tuna, again, straining off the water to this one. Breaking up a little bit of that tuna, but not too fine. This isn't like a kind of corned tuna or anything like that. I still want some chunky bits through it. That's a whole tin in there. Okay, so as I'm saying, absolutely easy recipe to pack for the next day for lunch. You could probably even make 2-3 days worth of this and it'll sit just fine. In terms of protein content, it's amazing. You've got 150 grams of tuna after you've drained it off, and then you've got half a can of beans, and that totals up to well over 30 grams of protein just in one portion. So you might want to have this as a smaller one, but honestly, this is a wicked dish to be having at lunch, especially if you're training hard in the evenings or anything like that. Half a lemon, flat side up of that lemon, so I try not to get my seeds through it. Really going in there. You could have a touch of a white wine vinegar, but I wouldn't do it. I'd move away from that sweetness that you get in that white wine vinegar. And then we're just mixing that through. It doesn't need an olive oil in there. You can add it if you want to, because both the tuna and the beans were in a water, but I don't think it really needs it. You can also add some herbs if you want to freshen up the dish or lighten it, but I really want to keep it really simple for you guys, really, really cost effective with this recipe. Okay, beautiful 4-bean mix, tin tuna, both from water. Got a little bit of parsley there, and absolutely delicious to be having for your lunch, to be packing that, really easy for the next day, really affordable dish, but packed full of protein, great source of complex carbohydrates in there as well, and tons of fiber. So get stuck into a dish like this and enjoy your cooking.